All right. How many of you have experienced that if you go into something with a positive intention, you come out with a positive result? Has anybody had that happen? How many of you gone into something with a negative intention or a negative feeling and you come out with a negative result? We've all had that happen. So intention creates our reality. So I just want you to think about that. All right, let's move on to the next one. The second step in this communication process is considering your assumptions and beliefs. So number one, I think about my purpose and intent. Number two, I think about my assumptions and the other person's assumptions and my beliefs and their beliefs. And I ask myself a couple questions, which you can see up on the board. Now, I want to just put this question out here to you. If you look at these questions, when you're about to send information to someone, when you're about to communicate with someone, how might the question, what assumptions might they be making about me or this information? If I ask myself that question, how might that help how I change how I communicate? If I ask myself that question, what assumptions might they be making about me or this information I'm about to deliver? How might that change how I communicate? What might you do differently? If you answered that, if you thought about that question, what do you think? How might it help you?
The approach.
It might change my approach. What else might it do? Might you provide more? You might provide more information, do more research, prepare them more. Great example of this is you're about to talk about a new problem that's come up, and you need to talk to several people in your staff about it or on your team. And rather than just gathering them together and dumping the problem on them unexpectedly, if I think about what assumptions they might make, what might I do a little differently to help prepare them for that conversation? What might you do differently? Any ideas?
Make sure they understand why you're coming with this.
Yes, I would give them a heads up, right? I would say this issue has come to our attention. We do need to fix it within a certain amount of time. We're going to have a meeting today at 3 o'clock. I'd love for you to come with some ideas of solutions, right? So that we don't spend the first part of the meeting figuring out who did it, what happened, whose fault is it. Let's just move right into solutions. So these are some questions that are really important. What do I know? What assumptions might this person be making? How can I provide more clarity if I think they're not going to understand it? And what would it look like if I approached it with positive intent? Same on the other end. If I'm getting information, I ask very similar questions. So that's step two.